Hello? Can you guys hear me okay? Yeah. So our delay, Vince, I keep feeling like Vince is standing there watching me, but he's not. Yeah, so let me know how the audio is. I know it's really weird today. It looks weird. My new computer, I went from a 17-inch laptop to a 27-inch desktop. So it's huge and I feel really strange. I feel like I have to sit back like this to see the whole monitor. And I find myself like I'm editing and I'm looking down here and I have to look up here and all to look at the monitor. So yeah, I feel like I look like I'm on a humongous screen also. Also the webcam, I know that I'm kind of like down here at the bottom of the scene because my webcam is like right here and it like collapses into the computer. So I can't move it. So that's what we get. I have my chair put up as high as possible because if I have it down where I usually do, that's what you would see. You'd see all my mess behind me that I've cleaned up a little bit. So, yeah, picture's a little light. Yeah, I'll figure it out. We'll figure it out as we go. I have to keep making adjustments to everything. Okay. I don't know if we are set up properly for anything else, but I spent all morning trying to get things in order to make sure that I could broadcast properly. So I feel like I'm going to let you guys decide if you want to, yeah, my color chart. I just made this with, it's a watercolor chart. So it has, what is that, like 22 different colors. It took me several days to make, and it was a lot of fun. It looks good. Thank you, thank you. Okay, so the truck video, it's over 2 hours long, so I'm gonna let you guys decide what we want to do. Do we want to just watch the truck video start to finish? Clearly I'm not set up for demos today because I can't haul my computer to the other side of the room. So as soon as I can get that part figured out, we will get some demos going. So do we want to watch the whole video or do we just want to talk about the parts of it that we had issues with? I am set up to actually demo creating a grid on an image. So we can do all of that. We can do whatever you guys want. Diane is drinking my drink, the Guava Goddess Kombucha. That is my favorite. That's what I'm usually drinking when we do these and you guys see me drinking something. My eyes are so sparkly. Thank you. I noticed that too. And I think it's because there's a window right here in front of me, but also my webcam has a little light on it. And I'm like, oh, it's making my eyes so sparkly. So thanks for noticing. Yeah, we can absolutely just talk about the challenging parts. I am down with that. What is super cool about this computer is, you know, before I had to like toggle back and forth between, you know, the chat and my broadcasting. So I couldn't see everything all at once. And now this screen is so big that I've got them both. So I can see everything all at once. Oh, yeah. So, Sylvie, that's a good idea. Yeah, so I'm actually going to start the truck video. And I want some feedback from you guys on if it's working. I had a lot of trouble for some reason getting it to capture video, you know, because everybody's all hyper aware of like pirating media and stuff now. So it's really hard to actually be able to broadcast a video because they don't know if you're like broadcasting the new Star Wars video or whatever. But I'm pretty sure I got it figured out. So let's go ahead and just start it. Give me some feedback on how the audio levels between the two sound and if it looks good. And then, yeah, we can at least, you know, come back and and play some of the video later if we need to, or just know for next time. So here is our video. I should probably put my headphones on so I can hear. I can't hear. Why don't I see my video?
So I'm going to start with my 1-inch flat.
Why is that just dark? Hang on.
Wipe it off.
I don't know what's going on here. I know you guys can hear it and you can't see it.
Here of cadmium red medium and a little bit of Mars
Why is
black.
that happening? And now it's not even doing that.
And what this color is going to do is it's going to help me.
There we go. I don't know what happened there. Okay, let me know how the audio levels are. Can you hear me over the video?
So I'm going to load up with the Cad Red to start. Remember, we kind of
or is the video too loud?
Like a sponge. I'm going to put a little bit of black into there. And every time I go back for more paint, as always, it'll be a little bit different color.
I am a mess of cords. You hear me? Yeah, Mr. Moon was back there meowing. The video is really low, but if I'm quiet, can you hear what I'm saying in the video?
Accepts the paint so well.
The audio is too low on the video? Okay. Now, if I would actually talk.
Remember, to lay paint down, you use heavy pressure.
Is that better, or
onto the canvas,
is that
and then we come up onto the toe.
Still too quiet? I mean, we want it low enough that you can hear what I'm actually saying right now,
really laying down,
but you know, loud enough that you can hear
just taking that bit
if I'm quiet.
Lay down and spreading it out.
I see no, yes. I don't know what you guys are saying no and yes to.
I think my brush is just a little bit too wet.
You can hear me not the video.
It really doesn't matter right now though, because this is just the
it's still,
but that's why you're seeing some transparency there.
All right,
a little too much water in my brush.
That's better. Okay. Okay, good.
And since
that's what we'll leave it at then.
And you're not going to be able to see.
Cool. Okay.
You know, any of this in any amount.
That. And we'll go back to there. And I can take these off because I'm starting to get a headache again. I've been having really bad headaches for the last few days, like brain busters. It make me dizzy and everything, and I think it's just from allergies, and we've had some really bad air quality here. But today I felt really, really good until, you know, of course, about 30 minutes before I had to go live, and then my head started hurting. So, okay, so let's call that good for now, and let's actually go into here and do some, let's talk about making a grid on our image real quick first, okay? Now, I know there's a trillion ways that this can be done, you guys. I have cat hair on my nose. I'm really sorry, you guys. I'm like, there's a trillion ways that you can get a grid onto your image. So, and I'm going to ask you guys for help because I know a lot of you have figured out programs, whether they're apps on your phone, free programs online, or other programs that you might use. I want to know what you have found that works for you to resize your images and to get grids on your images. Because I know not everybody uses the fancy program that I use, which is seriously not all that fancy. I just bought an updated version of it when I moved my computer, and I paid $40 for it. So it's not free, but it's not like a dumb expensive program. So be thinking about what programs and apps you've used so that you can give me that information, and that can help me provide that to others, you know, down the road, because we're going to be doing more gridding this season. And I know, did you see Mr. Moon? And I know that everybody, you know, has different needs when it comes to that. Let me see if I can make this screen a little bit smaller so I can see it too. Alrighty. And okay, so this, whoa, don't do that. Go full screen. Okay, so this is a program called Corel. This is the program that I use. It's Corel Paint Shop Pro. And I have used Corel for so many years, like so many years, probably about 10 years. So I know the program really well. It's pretty easy to use. So I'm going to show you the process that I go through and kind of tell you where my mind goes. I can't see, well, yeah, I can see chat. Hang on, let me move this on down here and then I can see chat a bit. Make sure that your questions are in all caps so that, so I can see them. So if you want to do it online, if you have access to this program or something similar to it, Adobe Photoshop, all of that, you can easily add a grid to your image. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to open my image. And let's see, I don't know if you guys can see this or not. I downloaded this image because I felt like it had some interesting shapes in it that would be, you know, good for gridding. And hang on. And it would be, it's not the right size. So it offers the opportunity to make the adjustments that we need to grid it. So the very first thing that you want to do is consider the size of the canvas that you want to work on. I typically work on 12 by 16, but you know, if you're working on a 16 by 20 or whatever, the very first thing you have to do is get your image into the same, it's called aspect ratio. Okay, so it doesn't have to be, you know, exactly 12 by 16 inches. It could be 3 by 4 inches because 3 by 4 inches is the same aspect ratio, which it's a whole math thing. If you're never very good at math, that part might be too much information. But if math is kind of your thing, I dig math. You know, 12 by 16 are both, 12 and 16 are both divided by 4. So if you divide them both by 4, you get 3 by 4. So that's how you know the aspect ratio is 3 by 4. So I'm going to come into here, and I might be giving you way too much information. And if I am, just yell at me. I'm going to go into here, and I'm going to resize. Oh my gosh, you can't see that, can you? That's not showing you all of that. What in the heck? That's not showing you. All right. You guys are going to get part of the information. I'm going to change it because right now, if you look at my rulers here on the side, this image is only, let's see, it's about 5 inches top to bottom, and it's about 6.5 inches wide. So clearly that does not equal 12 by 16 in any way. So let me resize it real quick. Okay. So now I've resized it. As you can tell on the ruler here, it's 16 inches long, but it's much wider than 12 inches. So I need to get it to 12 inches. And well, you can see that. Why wouldn't it show you the other thing? Good programs, here's something really important. Good programs are going to give you the ability to, and you can't see that either. I don't know what's going on here, you guys. I don't know how to explain this to you if you can't see what I'm doing. Now I'm frustrated. All right. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you because this stupid thing isn't showing us anything. Give me some questions that I can at least answer in some way. Now it's not working at all. Okay, well now I'm sufficiently frustrated that I spent so much time getting that ready and it doesn't work. So that's cool. Okay. I guess I'll just basically tell you. Okay. Your main concern is getting your image into the same shape as your canvas. So you can't take an image that is like, let's say 12 inches wide by 12 inches tall and accurately grid that for a 16 by 12 inch canvas. Because where are those extra 4 inches coming from for the 16-inch side? You have to crop the image somehow so that it becomes, you know, the same aspect ratio. I can show you with a ruler and chalk. I can't because I don't have any printouts, of course. Yeah, so yeah, you can absolutely use a ruler and, you know, and that is going to be pretty simple, Pat. The issue is the image has to be the same size or the same shape, at least, as the canvas. Like I said, if I have an image, see, I don't even have any flippin' images around here that I can... All right, we're going to use this. And this is probably just going to completely confuse you. Sorry, guys, I don't know what else to do. I'm really frustrated right now. Okay, let's pretend this is our image. Okay, we like this picture and we want to paint it on a canvas. We have drawn a 1-inch grid all over it. Pretend these are 1-inch squares. Okay, so here's our image with a 1-inch grid all over it. This is, we'll say it's 24 by 24. I don't know how big it is. But we want to do it 12 by 16. Well, if these are already 1-inch squares, then all we have to do is find like 12 by 16-inch section that we like. So, because you won't be able to fit the whole image on there. It's impossible. Otherwise, if you try and fit the whole image on there, it's going to be distorted. It's going to be squished one way. It's going to be stretched another way. So we have to come in here and count out, you know, 12 squares and 16 squares and then say, okay, I like this section. That's the section that I'm going to do. And everything else goes away, unfortunately. So I might be able to, hang on, let me see. I might be able to do, because now it's just being stupid. Hang on. Okay, let me show you kind of what I mean. I can show you a little bit. So my view grid. Okay, there. Now you can see my grid. Okay, now that grid is set up 12 by 1 inches. Sorry. Those are 1-inch grid squares that you can see on my image. So if I like this image and I decide I want to paint this, but clearly this is, let's see, it's like 21 inches wide. That's not going to fit on a 12 by 16-inch canvas. It's 16 inches tall, so that'll fit. So I have to find 12 inches side to side that I like. Let's see, I'm going to get my, you can't see that part, but, okay. So you can see this square that's, or this rectangle that's floating around. That is 12 by 16. So I'm basically going to take it and find 12 inches that I like. You know, position it however I like it. And if you're doing this on a paper, like on this, it's basically the same thing. So you just decide which parts of it you want to keep, and that's what you focus on. Everything else has to go away. So gridding, it's super easy when you're, you know, to help you get the image onto your canvas. Taking a random image that is not formatted for your canvas, yeah, it's a little more complicated. And there's 1.5 billion ways that you can do it. You just have to find the one that works for you. So there, now my image is 12 by 16. This is ready to go on a canvas. Can I grab the outsides of my program and bring it in? I don't know what that means. Yeah, you don't have to do 1-inch squares. Gretchen's saying, wouldn't be 1-inch squares, but smaller. Yeah, I just use 1-inch squares as, as an example. If you wanted to do a centimeter, that's a lot of squares, but you can do that. If you wanted to do 2-inch squares, you can do 2-inch squares. It depends on what you're comfortable with. It depends on how detailed the image is, the size that you're working, whatever. It really depends on you. So that is basically how I got our image. So that's it. I'm sorry that probably wasn't much help. I want to know what programs you guys have used to make your grids. Don't tell me in the chat here, because I can't do anything with that right now. I'll make a post in the JAMSS group, and you guys can post links. So if you have a link to an app or a website or something that you've used to make your grids, resize your images, all of that, feel free to post that in the post that I'll make in the JAMSS group. There's also, I downloaded it, but I haven't had a chance to use it yet. There is a free photo editing program called GIMP, and I don't know if GIMP has I can't imagine that it wouldn't have the gridding abilities, but anyway, GIMP is one that you might want to look into. It's free. You can just download it online for a computer. And when would I suggest gridding versus not gridding? When you feel like you'd be more comfortable with it. Really, that's about it. I don't feel like gridding a landscape, with like grasses and a tree, and I don't feel like gridding would help me with that, because those are very abstract elements. But I felt like I really needed that with the truck to get the proportions and everything right. I've used gridding on portraits before, and that was really helpful. So I feel like the more abstract something is, the less gridding is necessary, though you can use it. Atra says that her husband uses GIMP and prefers it over Photoshop. That's good to know. Atra, do you know if GIMP has the ability to do the cropping and everything like that? Oh yeah, Atra had a question about how to grid 2 elements on. It's really going to be the same thing. You want to make sure that, yeah, it's going to take, you guys, the thing with creating a grid in the first place is, like I said, there are a billion ways you can do it. And it's not necessarily easy, if you can figure out the method that works for you, the way that you understand with the computer program or the phone app or whatever method is the easiest and most accessible for you, then that doesn't really matter. What I did, that's what works the best for me. But I know not everybody has that program. Some people are going to prefer to print it out and do it with a ruler, and that's perfectly fine. I have no desire to do it that way. I don't want to do it that way, but that might work super well for someone else. So I think I just really want to kind of compile all of the methods that, we all kind of have, so that we can put them in a list for everybody to, have access to. In the meantime, when I am doing a video where we need gridding, I will provide, a grid image like like I did for the truck? Do a lot of you want, like grid images for 16 by 20, 8 by 10, things like that? Because I can very easily create those as well. Keep in mind that the image will be cropped a little bit different. If you're doing, if I do a video at 12 by 16, but you want to do it at 16 by 20, the image is going to be cropped different. If you want to do it at 8 by 10 or 12 by 12, the image is going to be cropped different. It's not going to be exactly the same as the one I'm doing. Remember in... Okay, there we go. Sorry, I didn't put my audio on this. So remember when we did this and we had, let's see, I'm going to put the grid on here rather than that one. No, I'm apparently not, because it's not on here. Anyway, do you remember when we had the grid and I said that the grid went through the little headlight with the X? The grid crossed in front of the little headlight there, and I thought that's a good place to start. If you are doing it on a different size than 12 by 16, you will not have the grid crossing there. And I know a lot of people were kind of freaked out by that. They're like, it doesn't cross right there at the little headlight. You're working on a different size canvas. Of course, it's not going to. It's going to be different. And so the thing, I don't want you guys to get frustrated with gridding. Just figure out what works for you. If it's something that you want to use, on images on your own. Yeah, I can do a couple different sizes. I cannot go and like grid out every single size that everybody wants, but I don't mind doing 8 by 10 and 16 by 20. I can do that. Anything outside of that, you're on your own. You got to figure out how to do it on your own. All right. Any other questions on gridding? Anything specific you guys want to know? Anything? What else do you guys want to talk about with, with the painting or anything? Let's just chat and be nice and relaxed. I'm kind of anxious and like today. And part of it is just from having this crazy headache all week, on and off all week. Yeah, I'm really glad that gridding was helpful to you guys. And I know that, when I first started doing it, probably a lot of you were like, that looks really complicated. But I mean, I learned how to do that in 4th grade. So not to create grids, I don't mean that, but I was given images with the grid on it. And so it's an easy technique. It's just sometimes converting to a grid can be challenging. And what are we painting next week? It's too early to say. Delta Arts carries the Fredericks canvases. That's awesome. They are so great. I love them. And I want you guys to know that if I'm saying I love them, I really love them. I'm not going to sponsor products to you guys that I don't actually like at all. I get emails, maybe not every day, but several times a week. Promote this product, we'll give you free products, we'll give you some money, promote this product. And rarely do I do any of those because they're not products that I use. They're not products that I would use. They're not products that I've ever used. I'm not going to just promote any old thing. I only promote products that I genuinely believe in. So I just want you guys to be aware of that and, never feel like, oh, this is probably just junk. They just paid her a lot of money. Very few of them ever actually offer a lot of money. But yeah, those Fredericks canvases are great. I love the texture on them. Kelly needs to practice grass with the fan brush. Have you tried it at all yet, Kelly? GIMP is okay for Mac. Sylvie, when I make the post in the Facebook group, make sure that you can post that link there, okay? Oh, nice, Gretchen. Kelly, there's a link on my affiliates page that will take you right to the ones that I'm using on Amazon. Oh, did you order the pastel pencils? I think you'll like them, Debbie. They're really, I feel like they work really well. I've had a hard time with other things in the past, you know. Watercolor pencils don't work well for me, and then you guys can never see them, of course. Some things, you know, that people are like, oh, I love this. It doesn't show through. It shows through for some reason when I use it. I don't know. Maybe I'm using it wrong. But I've tried a lot of different things, and those chalk pencils are the only thing that that I really liked. I have not used Artesia acrylics. I think they're another company that reached out to me and they're like, hey, promote our acrylic paint. And I was like, I've never used your acrylic paint. Why would I promote it? And, you know, I don't want to tell these companies when they're like, hey, we'll send you free products. You know, if they send me their products, I've never used them before, and they want a review, I'm going to be honest. If I review them and I don't like them, I'm going to say that I don't like them. So I believe in honesty. Honesty is the best policy. But no, so I've never used them. I do have their brush pens, the watercolor pens, and I like them okay. They're all right. The main thing that I really don't like about them is that there's no indicator on the pen about what color it is. So like if I were ever to try to use them in a tutorial for you guys, I'd be like, use the blue pen, but not that blue pen. Use this dark blue pen, but not the dark blue pen that looks like this. So yeah, that would be impossible. Yeah, see, Kelly says she uses watercolor pencils and they work great. And I know that that's a favorite. That's what people like. For me, I have a set of watercolor pencils and I never touch them because every time I've tried to use them, you know, for sketching on my canvas or whatever, they either don't work as well as I need them to, or they show through. I can't get them to, you know, they don't erase, they don't blend in with the acrylic paint. So I don't like the watercolor pencils, but that's just me. Have I thought of something for the black canvas? I actually do have an idea that I want to work on today. I got the idea a couple of days ago and I haven't had the ability to work on it yet because yesterday I was crippled with a headache. Like, seriously, I laid on the couch all day long yesterday. Yeah, Nisa, those chalk pencils sharpen super easy, and they don't like the watercolor pencils that I have. I'd be sharpening them, and before it got sharp, it would break down inside of the wood, and then I'd have to start over. I haven't had the chalk pencils do that at all. Conti white pastel pencils. Diane, where do you get those from? I just got these general pencils at Michael's. And they were on clearance. Otherwise, I wouldn't have bought them because everything's really expensive at Michael's and I'm cheap. But yeah, the white pastel pencils, I'd be interested in looking into something like that because once the general pencils are gone, I don't think you can buy them individually, and I don't want to buy a whole new set because I'm out of one color. So, but yeah, so I do have an idea for the black canvas. So we'll see. It's just a very vague idea at this point. So I need to start working on that tonight, unless I get flattened by another headache. I hope I don't. Hobby Lobby. You know, I only ever think to go to Hobby Lobby on Sunday. So I don't get to go to Hobby Lobby very, very often. It used to be the only Hobby Lobby around here was about 15 miles away. And that's just way too far for me because I'm busy. I'm very busy. And so I never went. And then they opened one like half a mile away from my Michael's. And so it's way close. And now my excuse for never going there is I always want to go on Sunday. They're not open on Sunday. But if that's where you got them, Diane, I'll see if I can get over there. Yeah, the chalk pencils enable redos really, really well. The Conti one doesn't sharpen well for you, Barbara? Is it like breaking? Like breaks open? I hate it when that happens. Did you guys have issues with anything in the actual painting part? Everything I've seen looks really good. You guys have really done some great things with the truck painting. I haven't seen any where it looks like different colors were used. So I'm interested in hearing if anybody did, different colors or just different things in general. So tell me about some of the things that you did with the painting that might have been different from what I did. A Pizza Hut tattoo. That's hilarious. No, it's from the book The Little Prince. Directionality was a challenge in some sections. So what do you mean by that? Kelly said it was easier than expected. Good, I like to hear that. I really hate delays. Because then I sit here while I wait for you to answer. And then by the time you see me saying this, you're like, I already answered you. That's all right, Lisa. That's okay. People usually ask why I have a hat tattooed on my arm, which is really funny if you're familiar with the story, The Little Prince. That's actually quite fitting. So I don't know what you guys mean by directionality. Oh, the way the paint should move in relation to the shape of the truck. I got ya. I don't know where my truck painting even went. I understand what you mean. I wouldn't worry about that so much. It's something that kind of starts coming to you more and more. I swear, I know it feels like that's just not something that's going to come to you, but the more you focus on that and the more you pay attention to those things when you look at objects, the more it starts to become ingrained in you. And how I know this is that's not something that I ever had an easy time with. I would look at something, like a painting where an object looked curved. And I would think, yeah, but why does it look curved? I don't understand what the movement is that makes it look curved. And so I remember trying to paint what I felt like, like if it's a circle, just painting like a circle. And I'm like, it just looks flat. It just looks like a flat, it's circle, but it's not 3D. It's just flat round. And when it actually happened when I was painting the truck. When I started painting the truck, I realized that I was automatically saying, oh, this part is curved. Okay, we're going to move this section like this. And it worked. So, yeah, with the truck was really where I realized, oh my gosh, I understand that. I do that. I didn't realize that I knew how to do that or that I understood that concept. So one day it will just come to you. What I want you to do in the meantime is, I want you to look at different surfaces, so like, let's say the mouse, okay? We're going to just, because it's curved and it's right here. I want you to get a curved object like that and look at it and try and decide, why does it look curved? it doesn't have a highlight just running right here along what we can see. If it did, it wouldn't, that's not going to make it look curved. You know, if you look right here, actually there's a highlight coming from here and it moves, let's see, I'm trying to, there we go. It kind of moves down that way. And then it's darker behind it here. So pay attention to little things like that. And just remember that the shape of your brush stroke is one of the things that's going to help dictate the direction that something is going. You know, you can take, that might be something we could do like an exercise on one day. You know, just take like a static shape, like a circle or a rectangle or whatever, and challenge ourselves to make it look like it's moving a different direction. And all of that would just be done through the brush strokes that we use. Try not to think about things. Here's where I used to get hung up, was I would look at something three-dimensional and say, okay, this, like let's say this coffee mug, Glass Spider Publishing, shameless plug. So this coffee mug, I would look at it and I would say, okay, right here I can tell it's moving away from me, but I can't do a brush stroke side to side that, you know, does that movement. So what makes it look like it's moving away from me? Well, what makes it look like it's moving away from me is it's super bright right here, which tells your brain that it's close to you. Right back here, it gets darker. That's another thing that tells your brain that it's moving away from you. But then it's also this shape up here, you know. So look at those individual things, and that will help you at least get started thinking about directionality. It might be really helpful for you to take a very simple object in your home, a random object, a coffee mug, a very simple, I would keep it a very simple object, you know, a tube of chapstick, a paintbrush, anything that's kind of rounded, an apple, an orange, and study the shape, study what it is that makes it feel like it's moving toward you or away from you. And a lot of times it's going to be color and shadow. And where it isn't color and shadow, the direction of your brush stroke is what's going to do it. But if you practice at it, I promise you'll get it, because I did. And I didn't even know I had it. I started doing the truck and I was like, wow, I didn't know I knew how to do that. Let's see, what else do we have? I think I missed a bunch of comments, so hang on. Yeah, you guys got to see Olaf's butt. Lisa did. Hers really dark, like rust, but then it looked like matter. I don't know what that means. Yep. Brush strokes build the direction. Yeah, a wine glass, exactly. Although painting clear glass, you know, that's a whole nother topic, and that might confuse you if you're trying to paint shapes. So maybe skip the wine glass for now. Good, Deb, I'm so happy to hear that. Good, good. Eileen, I don't know what our next month challenge, what? Are you asking me what it is? I have no idea. Oh, is that, oh, we'll do the shapes for next month's challenge. Gotcha. See these stupid lags, and I have no idea what we're talking about anymore. Oh, I've never seen cars. So that's why I didn't get that. You're more than welcome to try it, Atra. I would love to see how it turns out. Tell me what other questions you guys have. What else? That's all right, Eileen. I'm sorry that I was behind. Totally clueless. You guys are so quiet today. Nobody has any other questions? I don't know what else to talk about. I kind of ranted at you already. I guess I can show you what we're doing next week. I think I'm going to, now that I have a different computer, I think I am going to try and do what I was going to do last week, where I was going to live broadcast the video. And then my computer said, you know, I know you've been planning this like all month long, and that's really awesome. And you made a big deal out of it by like blasting the entire universe that you were going to do this, which is also really awesome. But I'm just going to go ahead and shut down right now, okay? That's what my computer did last week. My brand new computer shouldn't be doing that. So I think I am going to broadcast the video live, at least see how that works. I've never done that before. I'd like to try that out and just see how that works. But yeah, I can show you. Eileen loves a fan brush. Yes. I love my fan brush. I do still have some fan brushes. I do not have a ton of them, but yeah, they won't sell out before you can get yours, Barbara. Okay, so next week, I think that most of you will probably be kind of familiar with this image. I hope you're not too disappointed. So next week, ta-da! It is a little bit different than the one that I've shown you in the past. But yeah, I need some fall, guys. I really wanted to save this one for a little later in the year, but I can't. I need fall, and I need fall right now. So yeah, this is what we're going to do next week. It's a pretty simple palette. It's a pretty simple set of materials. It's a 1 inch, a 1/2 inch, the flat brushes, a number 8 filbert, a round brush, and a liner brush. That's it. No fan brush, although you could use a fan brush for the grasses. I didn't. The palette is a little bit different, so some of you might need to get a couple colors of paint. Those of you who, you know, like to use the exact same colors I am, I did use Payne's Gray and Cerulean Blue. So if you don't have Payne's Gray or Cerulean Blue and you like to use the same colors as I do, you will need to get those two. No, I did not put any texture on this. It's just on just a plain old canvas. Karen said it would look good with a fall barn picture. It would, and I almost put a little barn in the distance in this painting, but ultimately it turned into a longer video than I anticipated anyway, so I didn't. Yeah, there's some alizarin in there. So the palette for this, it's white, titanium white, obviously, Payne's Gray, Cerulean Blue, alizarin crimson, cad orange, and cad yellow medium. That's it. It is a wonderful Frederick's canvas, yes, not a plain old canvas. Good, good. I love Payne's Gray. Payne's Gray it's my current favorite color. Love me some Payne's Gray. That green, here, let's go back to it real quick. The green that you see in the grass here, that is Payne's Gray and yellow. There's no cerulean blue in that. The cerulean blue I only used in the trees in the distance. So Payne's Gray and yellow make a really gorgeous, gorgeous green. Payne's Gray, if you don't have it, and I say this in the video, but if you don't have it, it's really similar to ultramarine mixed with burnt umber. But like in the distance, when I'm painting those trees, if I were to do that, I'd be using burnt umber, ultramarine, white, yellow, and cerulean. That would be 5 colors that I'm trying to mix together to get those trees in the distance. This is not impossible, but it's, you know, just a little extra time that you're going to be spending mixing. So, You could always take some burnt umber and some ultramarine and mix them together in the first place and just put them like in a little separate container, and essentially you have Payne's Gray. And oh, Deb's gone. Bye, Deb. Thanks for hanging out. Good, Atra, being brave about using heavy body paint. That's really the only thing I'm buying lately. I did actually use just a tiny drop of soft body paint in this painting, but it's not required. I used soft body Payne's Gray on the tree just so I didn't have to mix quite so much water in it. And mostly because I bought them and I haven't used them yet. And I was like, this would be a perfect time to use my Payne's Gray soft body. So I did. But you can use heavy body. It's not a big deal. You've only used your Payne's Gray once, Kelly? Oh, man, you're in for a treat. It's so wonderful. Did you see, let me go back to did you see in here in the distance these darker trees behind the bright trees that almost have a little bit of a purple hint to them? That is Payne's Gray mixed with alizarin. So we get a really dark, kind of muted purple from Payne's Gray with alizarin. So yeah, Payne's Gray is so much fun. It's such a versatile color. Such a versatile color. Yeah, Payne's Gray is really good for a night sky. Yep. I need to get it in a big tube because I only have it in the small tube of heavy body right now. I need to get it in one of the big tubes or one of the 32-ounce tubs. I should probably do that because I've been using it a ton. It's so nice for mixing. It's really translucent, so don't expect it to, cover and obliterate things like Mars Black. It's not as strong as Mars Black. You know how if you take a tiny bit of Mars Black and mix it with a color, it can completely take over. Payne's Gray is not that strong. It's closer to like the strength of ultramarine. Yes, it is. It's a wonderfully fun palette, Deb. It really is. And I had a lot of fun with this painting. I had a lot of fun with it, and I hope that you guys do too. So I showed you what we're painting next week. My gridding lecture was a bust. I apologize. That sucks. Have fun playing golf, Donna. So, yeah, as soon as we're done here, I'll probably make a, like a live posting, like I did last week. And so you can go in and set your reminders that never work. I know that. They never ever work. But, yeah. Show, Deb? Please show what? I'm really having a hard time keeping up. You guys are commenting. I'm like, I don't know what you're commenting on because my head hurts. I'm really ready for summer to be over. We've had oh no, my gridding lecture was totally a bust, you guys. Like I had this whole thing. I was going to demonstrate how to do this, and you guys were going to know how to do it just like I did, and then it's like, no, we don't want to show that part. So, oh, Atra, that's probably a good point. So guys, if I know some of you watching probably can't see the chat, Atra said that the reminders only work when it's a public live event. So that's why the ones that I do for you guys, you're not getting reminders on because they're unlisted. So the one that I put up for Tuesday will be public. So that should give you a reminder. Yeah, that should give you a reminder. Plus, I'll spam the known universe. If you're on my mailing list, you'll get it there. I will post it all over the entire universe. So we will all get that. If you miss it on Tuesday, you tried to miss it. That's how much I'll spam the universe with it. So next week after, what am I doing? I have a handful. I still have several paintings that I want to do over the next few weeks. So I need to try and decide. We'll probably go with something quite a bit more simple, although I'm trying to think of what I have that's really simple. I think some of the paintings that I have are a little bit more involved. That's not to say that they're difficult. They're just a little more involved because I've had time to spend on them. Katrina's question isn't getting through. Katrina, try it again, but don't put it in caps. Sometimes YouTube is weird about that. I'll watch for it. Yeah, Diane, I'll put a post in there so that you guys can share links to programs and apps that you've used that have helped you. Yes, absolutely. Katrina, maybe you should do your question in like multiple posts, like 4 words per post. No, it will then for sure block you. It'll think you're spamming. But I'll keep watching for you. Oh, thank you, Gretchen. Let's see. I know there was something. Okay, Katrina, would you ever repaint one of your old paintings? I see lots of artists doing that to see how their skill has changed. Yeah, that's actually one of the paintings that I have in mind that I want to do is kind of a reimagining of one of my old ones. Yeah, there for sure is one. Because yeah, we change. You know, the things that we do and the things that we understand and the way our hand moves, the materials we use, everything changes. And yeah, so kind of what's holding me back with the one that I've had in mind to do is there's a very specific technique in it. It's very, very simple, stupid simple, very, very, very simple. And I think that that's one of the elements of this painting that people really like. But it's not something that I would want to take into like a reimagined version of it because it's not something I do anymore. So that's kind of where I am. That's kind of what's holding me back on doing that. But yes. And Asha's going to paint the wine pour for the 3rd time. Yeah, that should be, maybe I should do that one again too. I do go back every once in a while to my old paintings to look for inspiration. You know, can I think of a better way to do that now? Or is there an element in there that I wasn't happy with that I know that I would do different now? So that's something that I am always thinking about for sure. Yeah, repaint your first painting. You know, I actually have, I think I've shown you guys before. Yeah, I have. One of my very first trees that I ever painted. It was so horrible. So horrible. And I painted it in probably like, I don't know, 2006. I was absolutely not a painter back then. And, God, maybe I should see if I can work that one up into something different. It's pretty boring, though. I don't know how I would change it and make it interesting. But anyway, yeah, I think that would be fun. I'll show you again. I don't know where it is because I just moved out of my studio. And that's part of why we have this mess here. A lot of this is, well, some of it is from my brushes, but a lot of it is stuff that I've moved back from the studio. So I still have boxes everywhere. You can kind of see them in my living room there in the yellow room. You can see like right there. Those are some boxes from my studio still. And I know it's in one of the boxes around here somewhere, but I don't know where. Would I ever post a video on the retreat painting? No, I mean, I posted it for you guys who were at the retreat, but I hadn't planned on doing a public video of it because I told you guys that since you paid to be there, that was a painting just for you guys. It wasn't going to be something that I gave out publicly because you guys paid to be there. Yeah. What else, guys? Let's keep chatting. I'm in the mood to chat. Let's get chatty. We've only been doing this for an hour now. And I was so frustrated at the beginning with my stupid program not working that I feel like we've been talking now forever, but but not in a bad way, not in a horrible way. And as long as my headache is kind of staying away a little bit, I would like to keep chatting with you, but you got to keep giving me things to chat about. Otherwise, I'll get bored and go paint. Maybe. You never saw it, Debbie? I emailed it out to everybody. I will, I'll email it to you. Debbie, will you email me right now to remind you? So I don't forget. Time for another retreat. It is not time for another retreat. Yeah, probably no. Yeah, retreat was great. It was so much fun. It was so awesome to meet so many of you, but it was so much work, and I'm, in the middle of like trying to kind of get ahead of the game and everything, and there's absolutely zero time in my day to even consider it. And it took a year for Atra and I to plan the last one, and so it would take us at least a year to plan another one. But also, I would not want to use the same venue we used last time for a lot of reasons. But also, that was the only venue option we really realistically had here in town. So, and doing it outside of my area, I know everybody's like, well, come here. But, I kind of had to go with, especially at the beginning, with an area that I knew, because I knew how to tell you how to get there. I knew what to tell you was around there. I knew, I could go to the venue and check it out. Going outside of, where I live for that's going to add another level of challenge to the whole thing. That's going to make it take even longer to plan. And, yeah, so it is something that I want to do again, but chances are if I do it again, it's probably going to be a lot smaller so that my choice of venues is a lot more open, so that I have the ability to, pick a venue that is a little more suited to what I need. Yeah, so we'll see, but long story short, I'm not even thinking about another retreat right this minute. A retreat reunion, that would be awesome. I need an assistant. I need like 5 of them. But they all have to live here. I need people who live here who can do all kinds of things for me, like start by cleaning up this and then organizing all of that. And then doing my editing, but you have to do my editing specifically the way that I do it, because I'm kind of a control freak. Didn't you see it, Sylvie? I showed it a couple of times. Excuse me. Atra, hush. Hush, hush. Oh, the other next week. I don't know yet which one, Sylvie. Sorry, I know that's really gross looking. I'm scratching my eyeball. I don't know yet which one. I seriously have probably 5 or 6 other paintings that are already all planned out and everything that I just need to pick for next week. Hi, Olaf. I heard you just get a drink of water, so you're probably going to slime me, aren't you? Hi, bud. I can't tilt the computer down to show him to you because it doesn't move that far anymore. But yeah, I paint over so many canvases, I don't even have canvases to show you guys. So, yeah. Can I make sounds with my eyeball? Eileen, you're giving away very personal, privileged information. Okay, so what Eileen is talking about is last night, because my headache was killing me so bad, you guys. So I was laying on the couch like this and like putting pressure on my eyeballs. And I pushed and I did like, you know, like little boys and they do like the armpit fart thing. So I did that on my eyeball. So my eyes are, I don't know if I can do it, see. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. I didn't post it publicly, Eileen. So yeah, I can apparently do eyeball farts, which is awesome. Yeah, I've been trying to drink a good amount of water. It has been really dry. It's actually quite humid today. It was raining. That's not something you hear every day. That's true. Yeah. I do get a lot of sinus issues, and allergies isn't something that I typically deal with. But this year, I've been sneezing so much this year, and so I'm sure that a lot of it is allergies. A lot of it is allergies. Because I'm not sick. Like, this headache, really bad headache with dizziness and sinus pain. It's been going on and off for about a week now. And this morning I woke up and I was like, oh, I feel fine. I feel great. And you know, it like came on as the day went on. So it's just allergies, I'm sure. That's hard on my retinas. Oh, but when I have the sinus pressure, it feels so good to just put pressure, you know, on that part of your face. Sinus headaches they're the worst. And then I always end up like really pushing hard on my head because headaches are really a way of life for me, you guys. I get a headache almost every single day. It's just, you know, something I've dealt with for a long time. But when I get a really bad one, you'll see me kind of like with my knuckles right into my forehead. And then the next day I'll get up and I'm like, oh, my head is bruised. Must have had a really good headache yesterday. So Mr. Moon's laying on the couch. You didn't see him jump on the couch a while ago? I saw him over there and he went boing and jumped up on the couch. Yeah, the barometer, that could be part of it too, because we had a little bit of a storm roll in today. And I think it's like 41% humidity today. Just those of you who were at the retreat, I know you're like, oh, that's so dry. That's super humid for us. It was like, it's been like 17% humidity all week. So, yeah, I know it's something, but it's kind of, it's knocking on the door right now. It's like, hey, can I come in? I'm like, I'd rather you didn't. So we'll see. Maybe I can keep it from hitting me today. Limitless talent. Yeah. Oh, you guys. Now I'm super embarrassed. I'm super embarrassed that I showed you that. My stupid human trick. One of many. Anyway, I could probably start a whole new YouTube channel just based on stupid human tricks and really embarrass myself. Wisconsin is barometer roller coaster. Yeah, we're probably pretty stagnant here, especially in the summer. Like next to no storms. Just tap. Well, that does kind of feel good, doesn't it? That does feel good. Painting a fall painting will help. It's true, Debbie. It really will, because this morning we took OLAF for a WALK. And, you know, it was cloudy and nice, and it wasn't too hot. Of course, it was 7:30 in the morning, so it was only about 78 degrees. But this breeze kicked up, and I was like, it feels like fall. And yeah, oh man, I get fall fever so bad. You're seeing some Jane moves, that's right. You love my stupid human tricks. Yeah, Lisa, message Diane, because Diane and the moderators kind of handle all of that stuff. I think everybody has stupid human tricks. All right, I'll show you guys one more. And then if nobody has any, like, so be thinking of questions, like real questions that will get me going, get me talking. Because if there's no good questions after this, then we're probably just going to end it for the day. And I'm going to start working on that canvas idea that I have for the black canvas. ATC's post so we can share ideas. Oh, did I say I was going to do that? Nobody really seemed too terribly interested in it. Like, I'll post it. Okay, remind me, I'll post it. Okay, so here's my last stupid human trick. And then we're going to be done if nobody has any questions. Okay, so you can see it occasionally in my videos. You need higher standards, Kelly. You can kind of see it occasionally in some of my videos, depending on like how I'm holding. Usually it's like a detail brush. So if you watch, sometimes, let me get this brush out of here. Put the little plastic cap back on it because this is not a brush I'm using. You can kind of see when I'm holding that my thumb kind of does that weird thing. Have you ever seen that? Let's see if I can get over here. Where are we? There. So my thumb kind of looks strange. I'm double jointed in my thumbs. And, sorry. Let me stretch it out a little bit. Okay, so my awesome thumb trick. So I can bend it down like that all the way, which most of you probably can too. But then, where is it? There. And actually, that's pretty stiff. I used to be able to go flat against my wrist, but I haven't done it for a long time. That kind of hurt now. I haven't done that for a long time, but yeah, so my thumbs are, I have mutant thumbs. Anyway, that's my last stupid human trick for the day. So, no other questions? Nobody has any questions? Yikes. I know, it hurts now. I used to do it all the time, and it would seriously just go all the way back, but now that just kind of hurt. I'm getting old. I'm probably getting arthritis. All my stupid human tricks are going to go away. You know what, Katrina, it usually grosses me out too, like when people like do that with their fingers. Ugh. That grosses me out. But when it's my thumb, I like it. It was my left hand. It wasn't my painting hand. My right hand doesn't do it as well. It's never bent back as far. All right, now that I've sufficiently grossed you guys out, if there's no other questions, then I think we'll go. I'll get the thing posted for Tuesday. Debbie's going to email me, and Eileen's going to bug me about the 2 posts for the JAMSS, and Atra has a question about clouds. So let's get your question, Atra. Ooh, my stomach is growling. I hope you didn't hear that. I'm hungry. Bye, Karen. Waiting for your cloud question, Atra. She's probably typing. It's always time for pizza, except I have leftovers from last night, so no pizza tonight. Sad. Atra! Oh, lucky girl, Kelly. Okay. Very funny, Deb. Ha ha ha. All right. Well, I think Atra left after I didn't get to her question right away. Atra, no, I didn't see your question. Nothing came through. Post it in the JAMSS, and I'll get in there and answer it as soon as we're done here. So go post it there, and then I will do it. I know YouTube is kind of being a brat. Oh, everybody's telling you to type it again. Okay, do. But don't put it in caps. If you put it in caps, it will. I'm waiting, guys. I'm waiting. Yeah, I know. I got that. Sunset clouds, okay? Posted the photo in the main group. Didn't get the colors in the right places. Oh, I was waiting for something with a question mark. I mean, sunsets are really different, and it's impossible to say without seeing the image. I think typically you're going to want to keep your brightest colors on the bottom of the clouds and your darkest colors on the top, so kind of the opposite of how we would usually do them. But I think my best advice for that is to look at as many sunset cloud like photographs as you can and really study that. You know, try and see what colors are predominant. Where are those colors coming from? You know, is the brightest color on the bottom of the cloud, is that the same color as the color at the very horizon? You know, does it kind of reflect that? Is there anything that is similar between the clouds and the colors in the sky? But I think overall, kind of in general, you're going to have your darkest colors at the top and your lightest colors at the bottom. But I don't think that it will, you know, always be like that. There's a lot of factors to it. Yeah, I've been wanting to do a sunset clouds painting. So maybe I'll see if I can figure something out with that too. And we can do that and talk about that a little bit more in depth. But yeah, overall, brightest colors on the bottom, darkest colors on the top, opposite of a daylight painting. Because remember, if it's a sunset, the sun is going down, it's going to be low on the horizon. The clouds are still going to be up here. So the light, the bright light, is going to be shining up at the bottom of the clouds. Yeah. I hope that helped. And I'll see if I can do something with a painting along those lines sometime soon. But yeah, I'll go tag me in your image, Atra. Tag me in it so I can look at it, and I'll see if I have any other advice. So, all right, guys. Now I'm gonna say goodbye because my headache is kicking in, and I'm gonna go see if I can get just at least a few minutes of painting done. So, all right, it was awesome to talk to you guys as always. And I will talk to you again very soon. So have a excellent rest of your weekend. And I'll see you on Tuesday. Yay! Okay, bye everybody.